off of her for well over 6 years. It appeared that Abby, over time, getting a little wiser with her years, started realizing that she was being taken advantage of. She started to realize that she hadn't always been paying their way out of her own volition. In fact, she had been heavily coerced by her ex-father-in-law into buying that luxury apartment for them. Abby's ex-father-in-law, Cao Kuang, was formerly a police officer. He was, at one time, well respected. That was until he was accused of sexually assaulting a woman and lost his career. It was never proven whether or not the accusations were credible, but it appears they were, as Cao never contested them and willingly resigned from his job. Because he decided to leave, he was never arrested and the case was swept under the rug. Alex himself was no stranger to crime either. He tended to deal with more financial-related schemes, though. At some point, he started an investment scam that he perpetuated over dating apps. He would scam men into buying large amounts of gold from him. He had also been accused of stealing all manner of luxury items from people he knew, such as jewelry and watches. Not only that, but Alex had gotten himself into a mountain of debt with his irresponsible spending habits. It got to the point where he was even sued by his own bank. At around this time, Alex's mother declared bankruptcy as well. Abby, having had her fill of all of this, started making plans to sell the apartment she had bought for the family. Although she had paid for it, it was registered under Cao's name, which complicated things. They had originally went through this arrangement to avoid paying additional taxes, but now it was coming back to bite her. Cao did not want to move and staunchly opposed her decision to sell the place. At one point, he even threatened to violently end her life if she did. Abby was scared and sought some legal help to sort out this whole ordeal. But even despite all of this, she still planned on buying the family a new, albeit cheaper, home with some of the earnings from the sale. That wasn't quite enough for Alex's family, though. These financial rearrangements angered them greatly. They were so angry, in fact, that they started to mull around the idea of actually going through with killing her.
Those are really late. Wow.
Soon enough, they were outright plotting her murder. It was at this point that Cao Kuang rented out an apartment a few miles away specifically to do the deed. On February 21st of 2023, Abby Choi never showed up to pick her daughter up from school like she normally did. It was reported that she was last seen entering into the car in which she normally rode, driven by her brother, Anthony. Not only was this weird enough, her social media had gone completely inactive, something very strange for someone who made a career as an influencer. Given her wealth, fame, and influence, the local police panicked and sent over 150 officers to deal with the case. It wasn't too long before the police were able to find some CCTV footage that showed that her usual car, Anthony's car, had been the one to pick her